Thank you and welcome back from our side. So we're happy to present our proposal, Grønn for Åkrehamn today to you. First of all, we're all three from our team, this full team, and we're all architects from Hamburg. I will start with some words about big scale methods we developed, starting with the site plan of today's situation. So as you already can see from the colors from the site plan or the aerial view, in the city center, which is marked in red, there's a lot of concrete and small houses and vacancies in the building structures. So there's a lot of potential for a city center, which was the main task for this competition, to densify and create a nice city center. But in the west part of the city from that, you can also see that we already have some existing nice green places, starting with the old harbor at the top from this plan. And then we have the existing park, which separates the city into two different parts. And on the down part of this plan, you can see the Åkrehamn beach. And we created a structure that, the green belt, that connects all these green places to one green belt. One important concept for us is to really work with what is already there. So in this graphic, you can see the existing buildings and what we added. So as you can see, we tried to demolish as less as possible. We did some transformations for some buildings, and we also developed a lot of new building plots. And what we did for detailing was we developed 3 different area types, starting with the urban block, which has the density and the key scale for Åkrehamn city center. But in the west part of the park, we also have less dense areas, which we called village vibe. So it's single-story houses with a lot of green outdoor spaces and not with these typical city center functions. And last but not least, at the historic harbor, we have a historic district with a lot of nice identical buildings for Åkrehamn.
Yes, as Karla introduced you into our 3 different area types, I'm going now more into detail, so we explain you what we are meant by our types. Starting with the block in the city center, which is called our urban block. On the left side you can see the existing structure as it is today, and on the right side you see our plan. So what we're going to do here is to close the block. We want to keep the existing buildings as much as possible and add new buildings to really close it into a structure where you can separate the outside and the inside to have more smaller shops inside, or use as its garages as it's used in now. And for future you can use these as also as even small spaces for shops and stuff like this. As you can see, we have a street separated from the main street, which allows us to create more spaces for slow and even fast mobility, which is good to have both, but in a separated way. Here you can see our structured urban square, which is pretty big now, but we want to have this open space for the community, for retail and services. And also inside the block, as I mentioned, we want to have it as a quiet space and for the community and density we want to create here. And in the main roads, which lead us to the Kulturhus, in the urban setting, we have this main structure in the main public, what we call it, in the main center of the town. And yeah, this leads us to the next block.
Yeah, in the western area from the park, there are the more less dense areas where there is housing, like single-story housing with a lot of green area around it, and also with open green fields. So what we do there is also to higher the density a little bit, but to remain the village vibe, as we call it, and also to bring functions in the middle of these areas. So these functions, they should be for the community, like you can see here, like gardens where you meet, but also commercial functions where you have like a brewery or some small commercial functions to reactivate these areas a little bit more and bring them to life. In the harbor heart, it's the old heritage at the waterside. We remain almost every building, but we propose a row of housing in the north to connect the square from the remaining square with the park, and bring new functions to the square, because at the moment it's not that public. There is not so much going on, so the new functions will activate the square a little bit. Here in the south, there's also a lot of space where you can bring a market or activate by small functions. Here you can see that in all the squares that we propose, there are bigger buildings to prevent to prevent wind protection, and also to functions to these squares. Thank you very much.